We have some information on baseball.
We take a look at what they do in Ignite.
And we see why we should go see the spring play.
Also on the show, we take a look at House Build and Senior Scholarship Night.
All that and more coming up right here, right now on JDTV News. Welcome to the show today. I'm Gavin, your host.
And I'm Joseph, your other host.
Every year, scholarships are distributed to seniors who display excellence throughout high school. A ceremony was held on Wednesday to celebrate JDHS seniors who were awarded scholarships from the community. More than 30 scholarships were awarded yesterday, each of which was presented by a guest speaker. Two notable scholarships were the National Merit Scholarship, which was awarded to McLean Sidmore, and the Juneau Education Association Scholarship, which was awarded to Lori Ballstad, Megna Bethija, Jack Harvey, Abigail Hoy, Zoe Kriegmont, Emmy McDonald, Sherrod Miller, and Chatham Mosher. Congrats to everyone who was awarded scholarships.
This school year, there have been many different clubs, and Ignite is one of them. Ignite meets every Wednesday during lunch and teaches girls in science, engineering, and technology.
Ignite usually meets right here in room 310, which is also known as Mr. Anderson's math house.
Ignite is an all-girls club that kind of focuses on, it's like based off of STEM, and it stands for Inspiring Girls Now in Technology Evolution, but we changed it sort of to technology engineering because that's sort of like the things that we focus on.
Every day in Ignite is pretty different. Sometimes we go on field trips, sometimes we have guest speakers, sometimes we create things with our hands and do experiments. And currently we're working on a project for the library where we're going across the street to the UAS lab and using some tools and technology there to create our new door.
Right now we're actually working on a door for Miss Reyes, and it's going to be sort of like near her desk area, and we're just focusing on getting that cut and hopefully painted. I think Ignite is a really great place for all of these girls to be able to come and feel safe exploring these sort of job avenues, I guess, or just their interests. These girls kind of have a place where there are other people inspiring them to go ahead and maybe get careers in the STEM fields, because there aren't a lot of women in the STEM fields, and I think that it's really important that we get women in there.
I think Ignite is a really important club here at JDHS because it is an opportunity for girls to come out of their shell a little bit and really find out about careers that are open to them that are not traditionally filled by women. And I think that that is a really important thing right now that we need to focus on.
After 2 years on the job, the JDHS House Build team is just about done building their second new house at Lena Loop and recently held an open house to celebrate.
This is a partnership of the school district, the university, the Juneau Housing Trust, city and borough. That gentleman standing right there. And it's an incredible project with people putting a lot of labor and time into making affordable housing, and a unique project of many skills and talents involved.
But the trust was a new concept in this town, and it was a way in which we could provide for permanent affordability of the homes that we build.
I like all the wonderful students I work with. They're what gives me joy every morning when I wake up.
My favorite part was coming in and meeting a whole bunch of new people, people especially to hang out with outside of school, inside of school.
Sounds like a fun class. Great job. This house is already sold, and the partnership is planning to build a series of houses over the next few years near DZ.
Instead of our regular sports segment this week, we have a special look at a spring sport.
Baseball is a unique sport where you fail more times than you succeed. You are given a round bat and asked to hit a round ball squarely, thrown at you with curves, slurves, knuckleballs, changeups, sliders, sinkers, spitballs, forkballs, and split fingers.
Why would anyone try to play this difficult sport? I'm tired just hearing you talk about it. Let's check in with FuBao and see why in the world people play baseball at JDHS.
We are here at JDHS baseball practice. Let's check out with the guys and the coach.
Baseball is a game of failure. If you look at the stats in the pros, even the good hitters are hitting 300 for average, which is 3 out of 10, which can be hard. I mean, knowing that it's a game of failure and knowing it's okay to strike out or maybe miss a ball is probably the hardest thing, but that's probably the biggest challenge in baseball.
If you're a good pitcher, you're gonna switch up your speeds, so you never know exactly what's coming out of their arm. It could be anywhere from high 80s down to low 60s, and you have to make a decision in a couple milliseconds.
What I do is sign up. I mean, in the beginning of the season, we'll have a meeting probably 2 weeks before actual season starts. We'll get a slip for all the sponsorship stuff we all need to do and when the first tryouts are. And you go to tryouts, you get selected which team you are, either junior varsity or varsity, and then you go on from there.
This year we got a lot of talent. We just need to find a way to put it together and have the team work together. And I don't think we should be able to be beat if that happens. So I think we have a good chance this year. We got a lot of eager people, so we'll see what happens.
To help win, the coach even has a ritual before every game.
Yeah, I actually brush my teeth before every time I play. That is my superstition.
Well, that is all for baseball, but at the desk, Joe Bills.
Thanks for the info on baseball.
Now, it's time for us to face our futures with the calendar.
Today there's a boys baseball at 4 and 7 p.m. tonight. Softball games at 4 and 6 p.m. Boys JV and varsity goes up against Ketchikan at 5 and 6:45 p.m. and the spring play at 7 p.m.
On Saturday, the spring play has its last showings at 2 and 7 p.m. JV baseball versus Sitka at 12, 3, and 6 p.m. JV and varsity softball versus Sitka at 12 and 2 p.m.
On Monday, there's a JV and varsity boys soccer game at TMHS at 5 and 6:45.
On Tuesday, there's a girls JV and varsity soccer team versus TMHS at 5 and 7 p.m.
On Wednesday, the boys JV and varsity soccer teams versus TMHS at 5 and 6:45.
On Thursday, there's a choir orchestra concert at JDHS at 7 p.m.
That's it for the calendar.
Up next is weather with FuBao. Is the good weather going to continue? Take it away.
I'm FuBao. It's time for your level. Today, likely rain, the high around 60 and low 45. Tomorrow, likely rain, the high around 57 and low 43. Sunday, likely rain, the high around 57 and then a low of 40. Well, that is for the level back to the desk.
Thanks, FuBao. Sounds like a good weekend to be inside.
That's convenient, because the spring play starts today after school in the JDHS auditorium.
Live musical production of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Whistle Down the Wind, a story about a fugitive who hides in a family's barn and convinces their teenage daughter that he is Jesus Christ and he is there to answer their prayers. The spring play starts at 7 p.m. tonight and the same time tomorrow night and on Sunday at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Tickets will be sold at $20 general admission, $15 for senior citizens, and $10 for students or children. Well, that's all the time we've got for this week.
Make sure to tune in next week for our final show of the year. We have something interesting for you.
Visit our website at jdhsvideo.org.
And also follow us on Twitter.
Thanks for tuning in. Go Bears.